Welcome back to another PBR Minute with Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier, alongside Nashville Stampede head coach Justin McBride. Justin, off to a pretty good start of the season, 1-on-1 on the year, and people got to just dig a little bit more to get the real information. Just a tenth of a point outside of the top 5 spots. I mean, you got to be pretty proud about your team so far this season.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was a good start, not a great start, but a good start. If you look really close, I mean, they're a tenth of a second away from being 2-0 to start the season, but horseshoes and hand grenades, right? That's where close counts.
Exactly.
Not in bull riding. We just got to capitalize on some of those things. I mean, we had every opportunity, the game we lost, to win that game and put it away, put it out of reach. And we kind of left it in the judges' hands and lose by, a point or whatever it is. So, but the boys really competed hard, and that's kind of the main thing. When you got that kind of core and that to work with, you can clean things up. You can work on technique when that desire's there. And we got a really good set of guys this year, and I think they can have a great season. We'll see who can get healthy, who can stay healthy. But I look forward to seeing what they can do.
Yeah, the last time we spoke, you said barring injury, this will be a difficult start to the season for the most part. And then how have you seen your I guess, lineup being adjusted throughout? It's been, a couple of weeks since we spoke last, but how have you seen that evolve through the last couple of weeks? Health and all the above.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's tough sometimes because in team season you're matching the guys up to their bull, right? Like you get a set of bulls drawn to your team and then you match the guys up to each bull. And our roster is really set up pretty well to handle a lot of different types of bulls. But with some of the injuries right now, we're a little bit limited there. And so we've had some guys step up and really get out of their comfort zone in Fort Collins and come up a little short, but approach it with the right mindset of, doesn't matter what bull it is, give it to me and I'll get him rode. And so I think that's where you really see guys in any sport, any athlete, when they're really willing to accept a challenge and challenge themselves, that's where you see the most growth. If you just stay in your comfort zone all the time, and you might have a lot of success there, but you don't really grow there any. You don't get any better. And we got guys that I think still have room to get a lot better, and that's the way you're going to see them get better is by challenging themselves like that and getting put in uncomfortable situations and approaching it with the right mindset. And I think we've seen that so far.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned, just getting better, and obviously getting better also helps with more opinions on the roster. And, this being the second year for Silvano Alves being a coach alongside you, Justin, how has he evolved as a coach and helping these guys mature as young bull riders?
Yeah, I think a lot. Silvano is not very far removed from the locker room, obviously, from being a rider to now being on the coaching side. And so I think you're seeing him in this second season really start to understand and try and manage the difference in being a friend and being a coach. And he's a lot closer in age to him. So it's okay for them to kind of be friends with Silvano still and stuff like that. But he also sees, oh, hey, this is tough sometimes. You got to be pretty honest with people, and that's the only way they're going to get better. They're not going to get any better by you just patting on them and telling them it's okay. So I think we're seeing him really start to develop on that side of things. I mean, as far as the bull riding knowledge and those kind of things, that's there in spades. It's just learning more of the coaching side of things, how the games work, how the lineups work, all the different rules, all the different things you can and can't do. As a rider, things you really don't ever think about or worry about. So he's definitely gained some experience there.
And as for this upcoming weekend, obviously the Wildcatter Days, July 31st through August the 2nd. You guys are kind of in the late slate for some of these games. I mean, on night one, you're the last one up against Oklahoma. And then night two and night three, you guys are the third game on each of those lists. I mean, how does that bode well for, obviously, the Bulls are ready, the Riders are ready, but how does that bode well for you all getting prepared for this?
You know, I personally, as the coach, like I love the first game, unless we're in Nashville, and then I love being the last game. But when we're on the road, I love being the first game because you come off of the introductions and the bombs and the smoke and the lights, and everybody's fired up, and there's a lot of energy in the building. And then you go back and sit in the locker room for 2 hours, and you're really removed from everything. So it's important for the guys to not get too amped up too early. You kind of got to pace yourselves when you're at the end of the night. Make sure that adrenaline dump comes right before you start getting on and getting ready to go.
Absolutely. Justin McBride's on with us here on the PBR Minute. Justin, before I let you go, you mentioned a couple weeks ago about the lineup being more left-handed heavy when it comes to some of your Bull Riders. Now you're getting maybe a few guys back from injury. Can we get a little injury update along with potential of what might occur this upcoming weekend?
Yeah, so this coming weekend will probably the starting lineup will look very similar to what Fort Collins was. And then probably the next weekend when we go to Florida, you'll see the return of Cody Jesus, and we'll start to work him in a little bit, probably be kind of a light load the first few events, and just get him worked back into the lineup. But he's a real game changer for us, because not only is he a left-handed guy that's really good going to the left, but the judges really love his style. And so when he does get qualified rides, they typically translate into big scores.
Absolutely. Nashville Stampede head coach Justin McBride on with us here for the PBR Minute. Hey, 8 seconds, that's all it takes. Stampede Days, August 14th through the 16th at Bridgestone Arena. The best riders in the world, the toughest bulls in the sport. No timeouts, no second chances. Go and get your PBR tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Stampede Days, 3 days, no limits. Justin, appreciate the time as always, and we'll see you guys here in August. It'll be coming up pretty close.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, Nick. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy.